you can either sink, swim, or be the captain. But over here on Sink, Swim with the Captain, we want you to be the captains of your life. Today on Sing Swimmer with the Captain, I have somebody who is organized, who is in control of their own lives. No nonsense, multi-talented, and qualified to come here and sit with us on Sing Swimmer with the Captain, be the Captain. Welcome, Mrs. Bosewell-Lewis.
Thank you for having me, Miss Soltau. I'm very impressed and I feel very accomplished to have my past student interviewing me. That's not something that usually happen, you know, very often, and I feel proud that I would have left an indelible mark on you,
Miss.
And so this is an accomplishment for me.
More than indelible.
Yeah.
More than that, because the mark that you left has inspired many others. Because of what you introduced me to, I'm able to do other things, and I'm forever grateful and thankful for. And let me just, I'm just amazed at the way how you did it, because if you never do it like that, miss me, I tell you, say, you just know. So if you're a fan of this channel, you know that she has been on other shows, and Mrs. Bosewell-Lewis is my lecturer. She taught me instructional technology at Northern Caribbean University, and it's a pleasure to be here with you to interview. She is a teacher by profession, and not just any teacher. She's extraordinary. She goes above and beyond. So today on Sing Swimmer with the Captain, we want to talk to the teachers, and we're talking specifically about classroom decor, right?
Okay.
So what is classroom decor? Why is it important? And if your building not good enough, you just stay like that.
All right. This is something that I'm very passionate about. You know, I am just an education person, deep down, hardcore.
Live, sleep, breathe.
There is nothing you can do to change my mind about education.
Right.
And so this is a part of the hidden curriculum. Even the very timetable that the school set up for the student, it teaches them something.
Right.
The very way the school gate is, it teaches something. The walk from the school gate into the school teaches something. What you do in there teaches something. More so, the classroom. You want your students to learn. You want them to feel like they can achieve and they can accomplish. How can it be that you have them in the walls, just the four bland, sometimes gray, graffiti walls, and you feel comfortable and you feel nice about it and you feel okay? What that does to their psyche is to lock the brain that, okay, learning only occurs in a dark space or an unwelcome space. So when you take them to a setting wherein everything is lively and colorful, they say it's children. It's for babies. It's for babies.
Yes.
Because they're not used to that. I remember when I just went to a particular high school. I did curtains for my grade 9 students, my form class. I purchased material because I'm a home ec teacher, and I sewed the curtains and I put it up, and I had different stuff going. And there were teachers who were like, why you need to do that? They're not at their bedroom. There were children who said to me, Miss, but after when there we are, Miss, we need to have curtains.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of them, the face and cut and whatever, and it made me I felt a way about it.
Like efforts unappreciated.
Right, but then I understood that it is their context. It is what they're used to, right? They're not used to these things. They're just backward, and they're not used to these things. But then, do I keep pressing as a teacher? Do I keep pushing that? So even after that year, I moved out of being like a form teacher. I was now promoted, and so I tried to get the walls to be painted. I always go and ask for the walls to be painted, for the room to be clean. So even if I don't have up decors, but the classroom is painted and there's a clean space, and I teach the students the importance of having a clean classroom and what it does to the brain.
There is
so it is very important. It affects the psychic, and it it supports learning.
When people hear me talk about Denby High School, they think it's just because I went there and it's just a brag. But at Denby High School, all the classes are painted in the color that class. So my class is Barbados. It's painted in the color of Barbados. The class that is Jamaica is painted in the color of Jamaica, and I appreciate that because that's cultural integration. And when the children leave, even if they didn't get maths and English, or they know 7 Caribbean countries.
Yes.
And they can associate
the colors
without being taught. They can associate that, okay, that flag is St. Lucia. That flag. So Denby High School classes are decor. And other than that, the level that I was at grade 7 for a while. At grade 7, you are required to, by the supervisor, you're required to put decors in your classroom. But other than that, personally, I didn't need the requirement of the supervisor to put decoration in my class, because that's something that is a priority for me. When you come to my class, you don't even have to come to my class. You just walk past and you just know say I'm my class. Because I have, and the children are excited. Other children from other class come and sit in my class.
It is important. I'm going to share with you. I currently have a grade 7 form teacher. I specifically chose her because she's very creative like you are. Always doing something artistic, always bubbly, always going on, and she's very good at literacy. And I said to her I wanted to be in grade 7 because I know the students that we get at our school, they're not usually at the top,
so her strength
down at the bottom. So her strength would help them. And she said, Miss, I want this specific class, this specific, because she had a name for them. So she wanted this specific class with this name, so that she could give it a name and all of that. And when you go to the classroom, it is literacy rich.
Did you?
That so much so that the students who should be performing above those students, when they did a little quiz that they had to run around the school, it was COVID time, but they have on the mask and they follow the protocols and everything. Those students were outperforming the other students because the teacher invested in the classroom. Because she come, Miss, I need this, and I provided all that I could for her, and the classroom is so literacy rich.
I am sitting on my edge of my seat to make a point, and you made it. You gave her what she required, so she was able I'm sure I'm losing the words, but I'm sure she gave you her all. That's what I'm saying. So you requested to work with her, and she asked you for certain things, and you equipped her. So you did a great thing as a leader to equip her for running, and I
just leave. You see all the fun stuff that she wants to do with it. I said, all right, listen, one thing, you're not going to do it only for 7XYZ. I want it for all
as a junior teacher talking to a senior teacher, that's the part that I don't love.
Her, I have no problem. I'll invest in it. Whatever you need, I'll give it to you. But remember, you have to include all of
that. That is the thing now. As a junior teacher talking to,
she enjoys it, and it's her strength. So you have to, as I'm collaborative. I'm a collaborative leader, transformational. I think outside the box. So if that is your strength, Elvy, I give you your strength so that you can impress others and become a teacher leader as well.
Miss, listen, I have the idea, I'll share the idea, but to do it for the other 6 classes would be too much for me.
Oh, well, I don't have 6, we only have 4.
Oh, and then again, the things that I do, other teachers frown on and see it as extra work. And to me, you know, extra work, and somebody will say extra, but it's not extra for me. To me, it's a requirement.
Because you would have been, you are, you know,
I've been impacted.
You have been impacted
by the best,
that.
by you.
But I said to persons, I wanted to be a home ec teacher. One, I was inspired from Form 1 to 3 by Mrs. Joyce Irving, no Dr. Joyce Irving. But then when I got to 4th and 5th form, I lost it. But then what I saw the other teacher doing that didn't come across for me, I said, I would be this to my student. So you benefited, I'm sure you benefited somewhere along the line. working with a teacher who did all of this for you, so you know the benefit, the impact it had on you, so you take it to your classroom. And that's why we keep saying to the teachers
and
that the decor is important, because it does something to the psychic of the student.
What you're saying is true, because my grade 7 form teacher, who was a science teacher as well, she had a fake flower in the class, and I was the one responsible for taking the flower down and up in the morning. And when I became a teacher, I had flowers, real flowers in my class that the students were and I could have tied in the content, because I teach science, and when I teach living things, I can cite it. I had when I was at grade 7, I had inspirational quotes all around the class, because that's important to me. Motivation is important to me, so I put it around. I even have a photograph that I was putting up the things, and the little girl, I didn't know, because I left my phone with them, when I left my phone, then when we get back full of picture. So when I went in there, I was putting up the decor, and she had one of them that says, "You're inspiring," and she talked to me, she said, "Miss Soltau, you're inspiring." I said, "Really?" When I went home, I saw the picture in my phone. I was there putting up the thing, and she had the one that says, "Miss, one of the most powerful picture to date." I love it. I'm happy that a simple decor can do
that.
I know that we're coming down, but most of these things that I'm telling that we're talking about is this. The sad part of it is it's teacher funded, because the things that I do in my class, sometimes it's either out of my pocket or I have to ask for a contribution. There's no budget in the school for classroom decor, and it's important.
You know, there should be, there is, your school charge for school maintenance?
I'm not sure. You know, the
right,
technical
you
part,
the fee breakdown, most, you know, well, let me not say most, but some schools charge a fee for maintenance or towards aesthetic.
But you know,
and
maintenance.
So your year supervisor should be able to tap into that year group to get something for me to assist.
Miss, but then again, a maintenance fee would have. I'm looking at so many things that could have been priority over decor and the things. So even if they charge a maintenance fee, you know how the budget is for school. I've never seen it, but I can just imagine the budget for a school and how much stretch it have to be stretched.
And sometimes you have to think about what is essential at the moment. So sometimes, you know, teachers become frustrated with the school system. Sometimes I used to be like that, and then when I got into leadership and I did my qualifications and stuff, I realized what you really have to go through. So sometimes I have to say, all right, guess what happened? To pay this bill is greater than to buy cartridge paper when a teacher could just spend 100 and get 5 cartridge papers. So sometimes that decision has to be made by the principal.
I've never been to any meeting, but I understand that's how business is, and school is a business. But another episode probably, I'm going to show them how to use cartridge paper to make simple
there
decor.
Are simple things. You can go on YouTube, DIY.
Come back here, come back to this YouTube. I'm going to show you.
Things that you can do to enhance your classroom, and especially when you have a leader at your school who believes in that transcending, you know, you will have some teachers who will tell you that I love that lady so much. If she ever know, she's gonna know, right? Miss Julal, I love what you're doing at Denby. I've been following Denby since 2007 when I wanted to teach home economics, but there was no space. So I've been following that school, and I love the transformation that is taking place.
Have you seen the building?
I'm going to pay a visit there. I'm going to come by there.
Listen, our headquarters, they need to come.
So when you have a leader who will give you the you call that now?
They equip you to run.
Right. Then you can work with it. But then you have some persons who think that you're too extra, or they feel threatened by what's going on. But teachers, remember, you know, personal branding is important. So even though you're working in an organization, your brand should represent you, your authentic self. I had a lecturer at NCEL. Can't remember his name now. Big on TVET. I can't remember his name, but they always say your Jamaican smaddiness must come out in you, and that must be followed anywhere you go. people must know Karla Bosewell-Lewis because Karla Bosewell-Lewis represents excellence. Elvy Soltau represents excellence. You know,
All
so
day,
wherever
every day.
you go, you are wearing that brand. So even if you have to do it on your own in your classroom, remember
Right,
you are
you.
impacting your students for a lifetime. Teachers plant seeds that go forever. And I tell teachers all the time, don't watch the grades on the CSEC paper or on the exam paper. When you can move a child from
Z to
listen,
A.
the greatest joy for me was to watch a student who came in at grade 7. My daughter at the time would have been around 3, and she could spell her name and write her name, and that boy at age 12 could not read his name. He saw a child wrote his name on the handout, and he went to 2 militants and said, "Sir, look how they mark up the paper. Look how they mark up the paper on the paper."
It was
and
his
the
name?
teacher said to him, "No, son, it is your name." And to watch the same teacher I told about who's good at literacy, I gave her that project to do, and to watch her, give her the latitude to do and be herself. And I watched that little boy today. He can write his name and he can identify his name. That in itself is success.
Right.
Success is not measured by numbers.
Right.
And that is where a lot of you become frustrated and want to leave the system because teacher X over there said I get 100% pass and you get 50. Look here, you did a lot to get them from 0 to 50.
Right.
Be grateful.
Right. So Mrs. Bosewell-Lewis is making a lot of content for teachers who want to be effective, teachers who want to
Be empowered, take
become
control
better.
of your classroom.
You can go over to
align your
her.
students for success.
You can go over to her channel and listen. Her success is evident. I'm a fruit of her labor. So this is evidence that what she's doing works and has long-lasting impact, right, Miss?
So true.
Go over there, subscribe, like, share, tell all your other teacher friends. Thank you for watching another episode of Sink, Swim, or Be the Captain.
And you're definitely going to be the captain.
All
When
day.
I know sinking
no,
or swimming.
not even swimming, because swimming you barely are making, you will give up if you swim.
Yeah.
So we're only directing our lives over here. Another episode, I'm going to show you how to use cartridge paper to make simple yet beautiful classroom decor. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe, give Mrs. Lewis your support, and I'll see you next week.
Okay. Take care.